Well, hello, and welcome to Trash with a capital T, where we give trashy books and movies the love they truly deserve, and some deserve more than others. They know what they did. I'm your host, Bobby. New videos are posted here every Sunday, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. So, this is a wrap up for 2025. I've shot this so many freaking times, but I decided the best time to actually shoot it, would be when we're close to the end of the year. While I normally schedule far in advance, this one I realized I kind of had to do close to the actual time it needed to be released. Because we're going to be going over what I have seen work, what I think is going to change, and kind of what I want to introduce as the channel continues on into the next year. So I started this channel in June, late June. I was actually inspired by a readathon for Richard Lehman. My first video was one of the Reading and Rumps reviews. It sounded like fun, and I'd been wanting to do a YouTube channel for a while. I was like, this is my good entry point. I was already reading some of his books because they were on Kindle Unlimited, so I was like, let's do it, and I did it, and I've been doing it since, and I have enjoyed doing this immensely. I do consider this just a hobby. It's for fun. It's for me to enjoy. It's something for me. So I don't take it super seriously, but I do try and be consistent and create content that I think is good, and I release regularly because I like it. I like having this outlet to kind of yap at people about nerdy stuff that I enjoy, and maybe a few people out there also enjoy. One of the things that I kind of found doing this, because I am a big horror nerd, but I tried a few horror movie videos. They really didn't do much. But when I leaned away from horror into more exploitation and, let's be totally honest, sleazy, people responded well to that. My Emmanuel video, although I do think I know exactly why that one did well, it has nothing to do with my review quality. I think people were clicking on that one because they thought they were going to see dirty pictures. Sorry, guys, I don't post dirty pictures of me or the films that I watch. I don't think anyone needs to see dirty pictures of me. But also, but outside of that, Beyond the Valley of the Dolls, the video I did on that one actually, for my standards, did pretty well and continues to do pretty well. Same with The Granny, the Stella Stevens, Shannon Weary movie that I covered. Those have done well for me. So, sleaze it is. Hey, I'm not complaining. I enjoy a good exploitation film. And I got plenty I can talk about. So that is going to be something that is going to creep in throughout the year. It's probably not going to show up right away. I'm really book heavy in January, February, and then March I'm starting to introduce movies again. That's more just because I was reading a ton, and those were the videos that kind of worked out to happen. So I have a few in my head. I have a few that I'm kind of wrestling with if I want to cover them. Because if I'm going to be going into that territory, I need to understand how it's going to work with the rest of my content. Because I sometimes read middle grade fiction, and I plan on actually talking about movies that are age appropriate for kind of everybody. Because the other part of this stuff that has kind of worked is the nostalgia side of things. You know, there are a lot of people my age, as we're approaching our late 30s, 40s. I'm in my 40s now, where we're kind of going back and trying to reconnect with that nostalgic part of our life, that the childhood part of our life. Because if you have kids, they're getting older, we're getting older. So I have enjoyed going back to that content as well. Balancing that content with some of the more sleazy stuff is going to be tricky, but I will figure out how to make it work. I do want to say this here, and it will always be the truth. Even if I'm talking about, no matter what I'm talking about, I am going to do it in the most respectful way possible. I am going to do it in a way that is not gross, not salacious. I'm not going to be nasty about it. I don't want to be nasty about it. That's not really me as a person when I talk to people about stuff. I don't want to make anyone uncomfortable. So even if I'm talking about uncomfortable content, my goal is always to create something that is fun and enjoyable for everybody. And so I'll use an example for a video that I'm kind of wrestling with in my head. There is a movie, an adult film called The Fireworks Woman. And a couple of you horror fans probably perked up when you heard that name. because it is notable for a couple reasons. It's very well reviewed. It is considered an actual good film. But most notably, it was directed by Wes Craven. He actually is in the film in a non-sex role. And that is one that I was looking at because it just got a re-release and it was very hard to find for a long time. And I'm like, is this something that's worth talking about? The main reason I won't talk about a lot of adult films on here, one, I don't really watch a lot of adult films, but also because not a lot of them are worth talking about. A lot of them are cut and paste. You know, I'm not saying it's a bad thing to watch. I'm not judging anyone who enjoys them. I've enjoyed plenty in my time. But there's not a lot of discussion to be had about them because they have a purpose. They fulfill that purpose and the movie's over. But occasionally you have something like that where there is some historical interest because of who directed, who created, who was involved with it, but also because that person tried to do something interesting. So I'm wrestling if that is something that I want to cover on here. I probably will, just to test it out. Because going into 2026, I'm going to be testing things out. I'm still playing with what I want this channel to be, what I want its identity to be. So that is something that is coming. Now, doesn't mean all my content is suddenly going to be sleaze. I couldn't do it for my own. I've already talked about this place being up for my mental health. And doing something like that would be horrible for my mental health. I like going back to wholesome content. I like regrounding myself in that stuff because sometimes regrounding yourself in like a childhood favorite is good for you. So I'm going to still be jumping all over the place. This is not going to be a consistently one kind of thing channel. That's not how I work. I'm too all over the place myself. Movie-wise, though, I do kind of feel like, okay, I can go over here. I can do a video about, I did a short about it, but I would love to do a full video about Stephanie Rothman's The Student Nurses, which is one of my all-time favorite exploitation films. I thought it's a supremely intelligent, thoughtful film that just so happened to be filmed by Roger Corman's studio and released as kind of an exploitation film. But there was a lot of intelligence and thought. Stephanie Rothman, when you hear her interviewed, is insanely smart. And she puts so much thought into her films. And it shows on camera. So I would love to kind of explore that kind of film. Or even something like another Shannon Weir movie, like Private Obsession, which is truly a bizarre film. Like, and not in a bad way. Like, it's an interesting film. It would be worth talking about. But I know you guys will respond well to that I'm okay to talk about it here. So those might be coming. I'm not guaranteeing anything. I may choose to nix or keep stuff because, you know, I do know some of the people who watch my channel, and some of them are like my family. So they may not want to hear me talking about certain movies, and I may not want to talk about certain movies for that very reason. But you know, it's interesting to see kind of what people responded to there, and it gives me an idea moving forward. Books. Let's talk about the book content. So for the next couple weeks, you are going to be getting some more author recommendation videos. I've got 2 that are already scheduled and ready to go. I'm not going to say who. There will be surprises when they drop, but I actually think they turned out pretty well. Also, I dive really far into middle grade horror, both old school like Goosebumps, but also newer stuff and independent stuff. Why? That's where my brain was, and it was very fun exploring it. Now, as I am now, I'm moving into other stuff. I'm looking at some old school, kind of that Paperbacks from Hell style horror paperbacks, or the old school like crime paperbacks, that type of stuff. So that's going to be coming up as well. And I'm having fun exploring these and going into them. And sometimes I'll read a bunch of books in a row that are very similar and kind of match a theme. Sometimes I'll jump all over the place. Who knows? My brain doesn't stick to a genre for very long, but I'm trying to be as consistent as possible to give you guys something to kind of grasp onto. But the reading content is kind of going to stay consistent. I do plan on continuing doing the Left Behind the Kids videos. They will not be monthly for a little bit. I'm probably going to do them every other month, but I have up to book 6 done. I plan on reading book 7 very shortly. The reason I'm not going to be doing them monthly is because I'm going to reduce the number of special episodes I release. That means I'm only going to be able to do really 4 episodes a month. The only time I would really do a Wednesday episode is if it's something that's more topical, that I want to get out quickly, because the cycle of it being something that people would even want to watch would probably run out by the time it would reach you guys, because I want to say I'm like 3 or 4 months ahead as far as reviews and stuff go. So I'm not going to say there's going to be no Wednesday episodes, but that number is going to come down significantly. And that also means I get to be a little more thoughtful. I have more time to think about the videos. I can do longer books because I have more time to read, because I've given myself some safety when it comes to releasing. And I can have a little more fun with it. I don't have to feel pressured. But I do want to simplify my release schedule just to make it easier on you guys. I have noticed when I did Wednesday episodes, one of them, the Left Behind the Rising, the prequel book, that one did okay. Everything else got buried. Or what would happen is the video that would come out then that Sunday would get buried. So I think really as it is with my channel where I'm at now, it can sustain one video a week. Plus if I want to do shorts. And the shorts are going to continue. I like doing the TV reviews or simpler reviews for shorts like I did with It, Welcome to Derry. I might actually, in the near future, do some for Heated Rivalry because I have been watching that and I got surprisingly addicted to it, even though I didn't think I would. But that show turned out to actually be pretty darn good. Steaminess, not aside, because the steaminess works. Like, it's done well. But the acting, the characters, like the chemistry between the actors on that show, not just between the main couple, but like everybody is surprisingly good. Like, I'm very impressed with that show and I really, really enjoy it. So might be some shorts on that one coming up because it's right up my alley. It's one of those things that a lot of people have dubbed trash, or even I did it. When I watched the first episode, I'm like, oh, this is softcore porn. And then I got through the episode. I'm like, oh, no. This is actually good storytelling. It's just they front loaded the steaminess. And now we're really getting to the characters and their relationship and the struggle that they're going through. Really like that show. So we'll see. It might be coming. Yeah. And, I'm going to try and introduce some other stuff into the channel that I haven't had a chance to yet or didn't find a good gateway to. I want to get some manga and anime in here. That is something I've been enjoying for a very long time. And I think I would like to enjoy with you guys. Now, where is that entryway? It's not going to be that. It's not going to be your Sukidoji. That might come up later, but that is not an entryway to anything other than trauma if you don't know what you're getting into. So that's down the line. I'm trying to find something that's a little more on brand with what we talk about on here, something that I really enjoy, and that would be fun to discuss with all of you. So other than all of that, what's going on with the channel? Nothing big. Slow growth, having fun. The big part is having fun. I enjoy doing this. I am having a blast creating the channel, creating the art, the thumbnails, all that stuff. I'm getting more comfortable with also watching myself on camera because I do watch all of my videos and critique myself and give notes and try and figure out the best way moving forward. Like, there's a couple of videos where I've watched them like, oh, this is way too long. This is rambly. And rambling's okay, but sometimes you gotta nip it in the bud. There's no reason some of these videos need to be 40 minutes. Speaking of, I'm going to probably try and wrap this one up shortly. But yeah, we're going to keep going. Going to keep chugging along. And if you've enjoyed it, please subscribe, stick with me. I plan on keeping this up at least till the end of 2026. I'll promise you that. Probably further because it's fun for me. It's a great outlet. And I love seeing reactions to this. Every comment I get on a Left Behind the Kids video makes me happy. Anytime people give me a thumbs up or leave a comment or anything, I enjoy it. Well, unless you're being a jerk. Then probably not so much. But, not a lot of those. I think I got one. I got one person calling me a fruitcake on a video where I was talking about my mental health. And to them I say, well, duh, how many times have I mentioned my husband? I'm as fruity as they come, bubby. Okay. So, on that note, as we wrap up 2025 and head into 2026, God help us all. Love what you love. Enjoy what you're reading and watching. And have an amazing morning, afternoon, or evening. And I will see you all in the next one. Bye, guys.